The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, inaugurated on September 9, 2025, stands as Africa's largest hydroelectric project and a transformative milestone for Ethiopia's energy and economic landscape. Building construction. What is the GERD? The GERD is a gravity dam located on the Blue Nile in Ethiopia's Benishangul-Gumuz region, near the Sudanese border. Standing 170 meters tall and stretching nearly 2 kilometers across the river, it boasts an installed capacity of 5,150 megawatts, MW, making it one of the world's top 20 largest hydroelectric facilities. The project commenced in 2011 and was completed in 2025 at a cost of approximately $5 billion, predominantly funded through domestic sources, including the Ethiopian Central Bank and public contributions. Wikipedia. High-voltage energy production and access. The GERD's full capacity is expected to generate around 15.76 terawatt-hours, TWh, annually. This represents more than double Ethiopia's previous electricity generation, potentially powering up to 60% of the nation's population. The dam is also poised to facilitate electricity exports to neighboring countries like Kenya and South Sudan, addressing regional power shortages. eros.usgs.gov+1. Currently, only about 22% of Ethiopia's 120 million people have access to electricity. The GERD aims to significantly reduce power outages, especially in urban areas, and supports the country's transition to electric vehicles by providing a cleaner energy source. The Economist +1 money bag economic impact. The GERD is projected to generate over $1 billion annually, encompassing both direct revenues and indirect economic stimulation. This influx is expected to bolster Ethiopia's economy, create jobs, and enhance infrastructure, particularly in rural regions. The dam's development involved over 25,000 workers, leaving a lasting impact on local communities. Daily Saba +1 Globe. Regional tensions. While Ethiopia views the GERD as a symbol of national pride and a catalyst for development, it has sparked significant tensions with downstream countries, particularly Egypt. Egypt, heavily reliant on the Nile for its water supply, perceives the dam as a threat to its water security. The Egyptian government has called for legally binding agreements on the dam's operation, citing concerns over potential reductions in water flow during droughts. App News Sudan shares similar concerns, although it has expressed interest in importing electricity from the GERD. The Ethiopian government maintains that it has sovereign rights to develop its resources and asserts that the dam's operation will not significantly harm downstream water interests. The Guardian Crystal Ball Future Outlook. The GERD holds the potential to be a game-changer for Ethiopia's economy and energy sector. By providing a reliable and renewable energy source, it can drive industrialization, improve living standards, and position Ethiopia as a regional energy hub. However, the project's success hinges on effective management, regional cooperation, and resolution of diplomatic tensions to ensure sustainable and equitable benefits for all Nile Basin countries. The construction of the GERD has brought together diverse stakeholders, uniting Ethiopians in a common ambition to harness their natural resources and transform their nation. As workers toil on the dam, they envisioned a brighter future not just for themselves but for generations to come. With each block laid and each turbine installed, hopes soared that Ethiopia would finally rise to its potential as a leader in renewable energy. The dam's completion marked a pivotal moment in Ethiopia's journey towards energy independence. Celebrations erupted across the country, with citizens gathering in public squares to witness the historic inauguration. In the heart of Addis Ababa, colorful banners waved and traditional music filled the air, reflecting a deep sense of national pride and aspiration. Political leaders spoke fervently about the GERD, emphasizing its role in fostering unity, economic growth, and ultimately, self-sufficiency. With the dawn of this new era, many believed Ethiopia would finally unlock its power and potential, not only for its own people but for neighboring nations as well. Meanwhile, as the dam began its operations, local communities quickly felt the effects of improved energy access. In the small town of Bahir Dar, businesses flourished as electric shops opened their doors, and households embraced modern appliances that once seemed a distant dream. The steady hum of generators, once a common sound during power outages, faded into history, replaced by confidence in a brighter, electrified future. Farmers, too, were optimistic, envisioning enhancements in irrigation techniques that would lead to bumper harvests and food security. The GERD's influence reached far beyond mere electricity generation. it catalyzed a movement towards sustainable practices. As schools embraced the availability of power, students were eager to learn using modern technology, and educational programs flourished. With brighter classrooms, teachers noticed a surge in enthusiasm and participation, empowering the youth to dream bigger than ever before. Meanwhile, healthcare facilities benefited significantly. Clinics transformed into hubs of innovation, boasting improved medical equipment and extended hours of operation. Individuals in remote villages felt a newfound connection to the world, with access to information and resources that had previously been elusive. This electrification not only illuminated homes but sparked a wave of hope across Ethiopia, uniting citizens under the promise of progress. The GERD was not just a dam, it was a beacon of change, reinforcing the power of collective effort and vision in building a brighter, self-sufficient future for all. Within this atmosphere of optimism, however, the tension with downstream nations posed a significant challenge. In Egypt, fears mounted over potential reductions in water flow from the Nile, a lifeline for its population. Officials convened urgent meetings to address the concerns surrounding the GERD, calling for diplomatic solutions that balanced Ethiopia's aspirations with their need for water security. Sudan, caught in the middle, sought a path that acknowledged Ethiopia's development while safeguarding its own interests, hoping that cooperation could pave the way for mutual benefit. As discussions unfolded, the delicate balance between progress and geopolitics remained a focal point. As the GERD continued to operate, Ethiopians remained hopeful for the tangible benefits it promised. Community leaders organized forums, where citizens shared their experiences of newfound opportunities. A young entrepreneur from Bahir Dar proudly recounted how he had launched a mobile phone repair business, attributing his success to the reliable electricity that powered his tools. Parents eagerly voiced their aspirations for their children, dreaming of an education that could lead to careers far beyond their immediate surroundings. Each story resonated, reinforcing a collective belief that the future belonged to those willing to harness the dam's potential for transformative change. In the end, the GERD stood not only as a monumental engineering achievement but also as a symbol of resilience and hope for Ethiopia. Its success, however, would ultimately depend on continued dialogue, cooperation, and a shared commitment to a prosperous future for all nations relying on the Nile.